Good evening, everyone. My name is Ria Pereira, and I recently joined Bound as a communications officer, and I handle different profiles there. I handle mainly my role is communications. I handle the social media. I create content for the newsletter, blog. Our blog is Jotted, and over I have been working on social media for the past 1.5 years now. And I previously worked for the Curious Reader. They are an online literary magazine. They were an online literary magazine, and I handle their social media and their community for a year. And today I will just be sharing what I have learned and from managing reader community and how to build your audience as an author and why Instagram is gaining so much importance as for authors today as they try to market their book and get it to as many readers as possible. So let's, before I start talking about the platform, Instagram, I'll talk about why it is important to build a brand and why it is important to establish yourself beyond just your publisher publicizing your book to have your own independent brand. And because that allows you to control the narrative, it allows you to tell readers what you stand for, connect with readers, give them a behind the scenes story. So everyone, when they read the book, they're wondering like, what did the author think when they're writing this? And social media today has allowed authors to connect with readers and tell them, to continue the conversations that the book started. And that is exactly what your brand does. And by representing yourself on social media, you can control or you can disseminate so much more information and ensure that your book doesn't just die out in a year, or you build an audience for each of your, if you've not written a book yet, or you plan to in the future, you are already building that audience for your future book. So starting with, I will talk about why, if you have a personal account on Instagram, I would strongly suggest that you create a business account, a creator account. And if you already have a personal account, you can switch and make it into a business account. And this allows you to see insights, which is to see how many people your post has reached, what was their interaction with the post, how long they interacted with it, what actions they took with it. For example, if you say, please go and pre-order my book, you can see how many people clicked and actually went to the pre-order page. So this is a function of the business profile. It also allows you to put contact details in, so your email and your phone number, and this allows a person who's trying to reach you to contact you with, say, a collaboration, business proposal. So a business profile should be your first step to switch to a business profile, and as well that if you have your personal account and you've had it for quite some time, it can get very haphazard, and your grid could be all over the place, or it could be old and doesn't match your new image. So then I would suggest either switching and creating a separate author account, and managing that, and making that a business account, or just archiving old posts that do not fit into your image. Archiving is not deleting the post; it is just archiving it from public view. So you will still be able to see them under archive posts, but it will be removed from your grid. And this is very important so that you have a consistent image on Instagram. And I would always suggest that you do follow the 80-20 rule. Every marketer knows this, that when you are on Instagram, you don't just talk about yourself or just plug in your book, because people are going to get tired. They do not want to be constantly marketed to. And that's why 80-20, you share other content, you promote other people's accounts and content and books and talk about books, if you're an author or whatever your brand is. And at 20% of the time, you can share and plug in your content. You can recommend your book, and you can have them go pre-order it, or you can say that my book is coming out and this was said about it. So always stick to kind of a balance, create a balance between the content that you share. So also when you're sharing someone else's post, for example, now it's very easy to share other people's posts to your stories or reposting it to your own grid, but you always must give credit. That's one of the most important things, policies to practice, because it is art, whether it's creative work, it's art, it's someone's intellectual property, and you must always credit the owner and the author, the creator. And so that is just some of the technical things. And let's talk about the image. So Instagram is all about the image, and we all know this. What exactly gets you to stop, read the caption as first the image. You have to hook the audience with the image. And you very often see trending formats for images. Memes are big. And what is different about your account? You know, why am I coming to you? Why am I stopping to read your content, your caption? Why am I stopping to see what you have to say? And that is what the image is supposed to convey. So if you put a lot of text on the image, it's very difficult to read, or if the text is not attractive. So that's why I always kind of try and achieve this hierarchy of text. That is a very little design, I think. But for a person who is just doing Instagram daily, just knowing that the square format. For example, if you have a screenshot, which is technically, which is always vertical, and you can share it directly. Instagram will allow you to share a bit of it getting cut off, but it will not look nice. So you can use a square pick app, which will allow you to put a background, which will give you a template filter, and will allow you to impose the screenshot on the square pick app, and making it the correct dimension for Instagram. So square pick app, there are several of these apps on the Play Store, on Apple account. So you can choose whichever one works for you. These are very often free. And the other software which I most commonly use is Canva. And don't get me wrong, so I am not a designer, but Canva is not just for designers, it's for anyone. And by just experimenting, there's a lot you can do on Canva. You can create, they have beautiful templates that you can just use just straightforward. You can pick a template, create content, create your image, change text, the variety of fonts. And I would suggest that you choose a font, you choose colors that represent you. Say you pick them from your book cover, or you pick them from what you associate with most, and keep it consistent. So that when a person is scrolling through and they see those colors, they see those fonts, they know it's your post. They might stop and read. They might spend a little extra time. So that is what you can do with an image. You can create recall value. You can get to associate these images with your book. And so when you are sharing, for example, a cover reveal, you want to reveal your book cover on Instagram, you could directly upload it and have it. Or you could create an event out of it. You can create a series of photos. There are apps that will allow you to split up into 6 and 12 and make an entire grid look out of it. So your entire grid is just your book cover. And that gets people to stop and see like, what's happening? Let me go to the profile and see what's happening. And see that, oh, there's a cover reveal. And like a jigsaw, it builds up, all contributing to hype for your book and excitement. You want the reader excited. You want them to know there's something in the works. So that's the importance of an image. If anyone has like any questions, please do drop it in the chat box. I will also be taking questions at the end, which I will answer if y'all have any doubts about what I'm saying. And yeah, so let's talk about captions. Captions, as you see, very often it can be a little wrong. People type it right there in pen. And what I prefer to do is I do not type it on Instagram. I will plan my caption in the sense that there are 3 parts to it. There will be a hook, there will be a sell, and a call to action. A hook is basically what's going on. Why am I reading the full caption? What you're attracting a reader, you're getting them to stop. A sell is what exactly, not necessarily, what are you giving them? So I know this might sound very for a brand, but as an author, what is the value that you are bringing? What is the conversation that you want to start? What is the message you would like to leave? So, and the sell, the call to action is what action would you invite your audience to take an action, to do something? And these have words. They tell the person, read this, find that, go here. And the call to action is one of the most important things which we forget to do. To tell, because after seeing the image, reading the long caption, I have moved on. I've gone to the next post. Rather, the way Instagram is structured is that it doesn't make it very easy for the reader to leave Instagram. They want them to stay on the app as long as possible. So, but you want them to read books. You want them to go and read an article and go to your website, your author website. And to do that, you must have a call to action. And the call to action very often leads them to your bio. So you will be like, my book is out, it's on pre-order now. Please visit the link in my bio and buy the book there. And this is very important. So you can have multiple ones. You can have your Goodreads profile, your Amazon, the Amazon link to your book, the Flipkart link to your book, several links. So Instagram only has one link in your bio. So what you would do is that if you have multiple links and you want to put multiple links, you can use an app like Linktree, which allows you to put in, it's a website, they also have an app, and you can just put in all your links there and choose colors, whatever works for you, and they give you one link to put in the Instagram bio, which is a link unique to you. And when your reader goes to the link in the bio, they get a whole list of the links you have on offer. So this allows you to share multiple articles where your work was featured, reviews, your Goodreads, Amazon, your author website is very important. So the link in bio, there are several, we use Linktree. There are several of them. There's an app called Link in Bio. So you can choose what works for you best. Most of them have free accounts. So you can always get started with those. And so let's talk about the way you function on Instagram and what kind of content do you share. So what I would suggest is instead of consistency, you must have a strategy in the sense that you have to plan what you are going to post, because it works on certain timings. Like there are certain times of the day that viewers are most active on. Say in the morning when they wake up and they just they go to their phones and scroll a bit, see what's happening. When you come back from work or you're done with a long day, you most probably stroll, a lunch break. So certain times that people are most active. And when you post at those appropriate times, your post will reach maximum number of viewers. And for that, you can see this in a business profile. You can see at what time in the insights, you can see how much of your audience is active and at what time they're active. Right down to the day, you can see the day and the time. So you can see Monday, for example, and you get to see insights after you have about 100 followers, but you get to see exactly how the percentage of male and female in your audience, and a whole host of demographics, like how many people started following you in the week and what was posts that they interacted with the most. So that's why it's very important to be consistent and be genuine in the type of content you post on Instagram. So when I say be genuine, is that you do not have to there are so many ways to organically get people talking about your book. You can share, for example, there was an author who was talking about Rajasthani folk tales, and she shared bangles passed down by her grandmother and said that this is one of the stories that she wove into the book. So simple, and that image was a photograph can speak so much. So those kind of images are something that will start conversation on Instagram for you. And reposting content. For example, so I will get down to collaborations in a bit, but there are several apps you can use to repost content. There is Reshare, and you will find a lot of them. Some of them work very well, and they will also put a watermark of the handle that you are resharing it from. For example, a bookstagrammer reviews your book, and you would like to reshare that review on your grid. So you just simply copy the link and put it into the app, and it will allow you to repost it to your own grid. And this is very important because that also helps readers read good reviews of your book. It shows that the community received it well, and that's where we come into collaboration. And collaborations are very important because finally this is a community. The Bookstagram community, the Indian Bookstagram community, is very active. They're very supportive most often, and they really do put in a lot of effort to review, read, share books that they enjoyed. And it's so important to connect with them. And as an author, you can go live with them. They very often do readathons. There are now, with us all going virtual, there are several book clubs that have gone virtual. There are book clubs on Instagram that have groups. And by connecting with these, like a lot of authors drop in on a Bookstagram meetup, a book club meetup, and this is all through just reaching out to them on their DMs and being like, I would love to be the author of the month, and if you could read my book and I could come and have a conversation with you. You can do an Instagram live with them, invite readers to ask you questions. There are things like, there are stickers that are question stickers, invite your audience to ask you questions about your book, your writing process, share your writing process with them. If you haven't written a book yet, if you don't have a book out, share your struggles getting published, your writing corner. These are all things that readers want to see. They would love to get behind the scenes and know you as a person. So Bookstagram collaborations, author collaborations, there's several authors already on Instagram, and you have to identify your audience. Who is that one reader who fits your genre, who's that perfect reader? And you have to talk to that person. You have to reach them. And best you can do through an important figure is hashtags. Hashtags allow your post to reach new audiences, people who do not follow you, people who haven't already seen your post. And and hashtags are not something that are just, they have to be relevant to your post. They have to, for example, if you're putting up a book cover, you cannot say Monday, unless it is, you can't say Monday mood, you could say that, but you can't just, it can't be travel and blogging. It needs to be relevant to the post because people can also report you for a misuse of a hashtag. So always keep the hashtags relevant or aim for a middle-sized hashtag. So a hashtag is numerical that people can follow. So there are very large hashtags that have several posts under them. And on those hashtags, if you are a small account, you are not going to be able to perform well on those hashtags. So you must choose more niche, smaller hashtags that work for you. For example, you are an Indian author, there's an Indian author community, there's hashtag Indian writing. You're a woman author, there's hashtag read women, hashtag women authors of Instagram, women who write. So there are several niche, small hashtags that you can use to get your post maximum reach. And how I suggest you find these hashtags is go to similar authors who are in your genre, similar readers, bookstagrammers, and see what hashtags they use, and pick up a few. So I would suggest about 9 or 10 hashtags per post, and you keep switching them up, keep changing them, keep updating them to what's trending. Have fun with them. You can even create a whole sentence with hashtags, and that's fun for your readers. As a hashtag, thank you for reading my hashtag. So it's all about engaging, having fun, and these are some kind of things that you could do. In Bookstagram collaborations on your page, it's always lovely. Quotes do very well. Share your writing tips. Share your writing quotes. Share your Monday blues, and you could also host giveaways, collaborate, offer signed copies of your book to grow your audience. Because once you get to about 10,000 followers, you can actually get a swipe up feature in your story, and people can go straight to the link that you put in the swipe up story. And this allows the reader to buy your book with more ease, to get the information you're sharing with more ease. So this is a very important way to connect with readers. Like Instagram is big on videos right now, and video content is doing very well. So how can you do it? You're a small creator. How do you stay trendy? You can see an author whose profile I enjoy following is Alka Joshi, who recently published The Hen Artist, and she did a reading of an excerpt of her book on IGTV, and it was a pleasure to watch because it was narrated with all the voice modulation, and it was performance. So this is your platform. You can do with it what you want. So what I would suggest is if you are writing a book, think a long-term plan, be consistent, genuine, have a strategy, and have a pre-launch strategy for your book, engage, create hype, and just enjoy yourself, have fun. And yeah, I think I have given you all a lot of food for thought, and I hope it was helpful. If you all have any questions for me, I would love to answer them at this point.
Ma'am, can I ask you a question right now?
Yes, sure.
So first of all, good evening, ma'am. Thank you for all the valuable advice. And so I'm actually I write poetry. So I'm a beginner. So I love writing. I write what I feel like writing and what I wish to express to the world, which I can't do it otherwise. So now what I have a doubt is that as you mentioned, ma'am, you need to create a business account first of all. So in the business account, I thought that should it only be regarding the books that you're going to publish, or can it be anything else as well? That something else that you're doing, your day-to-day life activities, anything? Can it be anything else? Is what I have it out.
A business account is not only for business. So you can have a personal author is your personal brand. So now what Instagram has done is they have it called business slash creator account. So you can create, you can say I'm a creator. And what that also allows you is that below your name in the bio, you can put writer or poet, and you can specify what the page is about, uh, and include in your bio with your short bio, which also has a call to action to your link where you share your work. So a business account is for basically anybody.
So
Uh,
in the bio, okay. Anyone has a question? I can I follow up now? I'm just
uh, I'll take another question, and then if we have time, I will.
sure, ma'am.
Uh,
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
yeah. Uh, Vinisa has a question about which app did you G share? Did you say? Are you talking about reposting?
No, sorry, you mentioned along with Bookstagram one more app. I don't know. Is it reposting?
Goodreads? I think I mentioned Goodreads.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So the Goodreads, your Goodreads, or I would suggest you create an Amazon author profile and a Goodreads author profile to represent yourself on both these platforms and cross promote. So you let your Instagram audience, let them know that they should follow you on Goodreads, they can follow you on Amazon. And so you always cross promote your content across these platforms. So Bookstagram
Hello.
will often, yeah. Sorry.
Hi, I do have a question.
Yes, Ankita, tell me.
Yeah, so I write poetries on my Instagram
Mhm.
account. It's a public business account,
Mhm.
and I keep participating on some contest created by, run by some known platforms. So I have a doubt that, is it, can I treat that as a micro blog? And, do people really get noticed on Instagram, writing on Instagram on a regular basis?
While I love reading Instagram. We always, when a reader is on Instagram, they are here to see pictures sometimes. So very often people
Yeah.
will not read longer captions. And always remember that Instagram is finally not your own. It's
Mm-hmm.
another platform. So you do not own it like you own your website, like you own your domain name. So this is why I
Okay.
suggest that you create say a WordPress blog or your own personal website and have your work, share your work there, your entire poem. You create that there,
Mm-hmm.
and then share snippets out of them on Instagram. Share and
Okay.
lead traffic to lead your reader to the blog, because that is your property, and that is where a reader with the intention of reading your work and discovering even
Mm-hmm.
more of your work will go. So poets very often they make an image out of their poem that's lovely, and always watermark it, of course, the image so that
Yeah.
people do not just infringe it on it, but make them want more, make them read more, go to your bio, and leave Instagram.
Okay.
Anyone else? How do
Thank
you
you.
get people to read longer text in this generation of tiny tales and less patience? Well, that's a question very often asked. I've asked myself, and it is tiring nowadays to because we are flooded with so much content to get people to read longer text. And that's, I think I also answered it in the previous question, is that get a reader. I was working with a curious reader in online literary magazine, and at the end of the day, I want the reader to go to the magazine and read, and that's long form. That's 1,500 words, which I want to read. So you need a hook. You need to show the value that you are providing in on your blog, and share parts of it. Share an excerpt in a nice format on created on Canva. Share an excerpt of what you would like. Of course, the image is not very conducive to text, but share a hook, and very often people do click and go and read. Do editors and publishers look at Instagram profiles? Yes, yes, they do. Editors and publishers very often will go and see people's blogs, and writers get noticed from there. Uh, Publishers also, very often publishers are looking for people who have an audience built. So a lot of authors have gained success or gotten their book published because they have been able to post of a significant following. That means that you have people who are engaged with you, are invested in you, and will buy your book if you come out with the book. So, for example, Vivek Tejuja, who was a very big book blogger on Bookstagram now, when his book came out, Growing Up Here in Bombay, he already had an audience for it. So it is going to it's integrated with the Bookstagram community, and it will be talked about. That's why it's important to create that audience. So, do I have any more questions, or have I answered your questions adequately? You can let me know. I just want to jump in real quick that this is really basic introduction that I've given, and this is what we also do, is that we want to help authors create that platform for themselves, have consistency in the way they present themselves. And this is another thing that is taught by experts on Bound, which in our Build Your Brand class, and how to turn your book into a bestseller, which is right from the point of writing the novel. There are certain elements that are put in to be able to pitch it to publishers better. So that's what Preeti, John, and they teach in their class, which is that the certain knacks and hacks to, when you're writing itself, thinking about your audience, thinking of how to pitch, that is taught in how to pitch, how to write a bestseller. And Build Your Brand is basically, it's for anyone. It's for a personal brand, a corporate brand. It is for how do you cross promote yourself, create content for different platforms. And that's why an author website is very important. And Goodreads, an Amazon profile, and a LinkedIn profile, an Instagram profile, and how to sync all of these so that you do not spend too much time and effort. There's a lot of technology that will help you speed things up, to schedule, and to save you time in general. So, yeah, thank you everyone for joining in. I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope that you have fun on Instagram and that you form your reader communities and get your books out there.
Ma'am, I have a last question. Can I?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Ma'am, as you mentioned that you need to create your own website or so that people can go into it and have a look at your work. So something like, I mean, do you mean by your own blog? I mean, like, can I go use Google Blogs or something like that? Can that work?
Yes. So that domain name is obviously not owned by you. It's owned by, say, WordPress or Google Blogs. But yes, those are what I mean. You can create an author website, your poetry blog. Those are very important because, for example, how Facebook is is slowly losing readership, or say Snapchat is slowly losing readership, losing users. The same way, Instagram can go away someday, or you can by mistake delete your entire account and lose everything. So just remember that this shouldn't be the primary place that you have everything.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining in, and I hope you have a lovely evening.